Look, it's not as though we're short of horses. Like we don't have places of our own to race. At least a score or more on Ireland's shores. Courses for horses, horses for courses. And over a quarter of us paddies turn up for Irish meets each year. From turf to sand, even made by man, we crave the clash of colours, the buzz, the hum, the thud, the thrills, not spills, the crack. And we could, it's true, go racing almost every day. We're made this way. It's in the blood pouring through our emerald veins. From Punchestown to Leopardstown, Kilbeggan to Killarney, no blarney, we've plenty. It's in our DNA. Yet here we rush to this moneyed queen of the Cotswold crop, Lee of Cleve Hill, blessed Shire of Gloss. We buffed her up with Celtic exuberance, over the topness, not just for the pot, our zest for the sport, the horse, blood, bone, sinew, muscle, flesh, heart. God knows you're a fool to say it's just about the taking part. Because winner takes all. We like to win, we often do. Trainers, owners, riders, proud. Horse racing like they're bred to, doing what they're born to do. No cloud will curb our passion for battles of the jump race, hunt race, equine sport. From Clonmel, Cork, the Curragh and the Stall, to be sure we're prouder when we triumph here at Prestbury Park. Ireland versus England, man at one with horse.
And so we return like many times before, from a crack for life, for rivalry and love. The spectacle and the spirit of this noblest, boldest sport. And yes, we're possessed when the starter lifts that tape. It's in our blood, storming round our race-mad Irish veins. We all adore that wild abandoned noise, that cry of joy, that is the Cheltenham Roar.
Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Cheltenham Preview Show. I'm Nick Hobbis and I'm here to bring you tips, views and insights to this year's Cheltenham Festival. Cheltenham Festival 2025 is underway, and at the time of recording, we've got one race left of day 1, and what a day it has been. No level of drama can surely rival today for the rest of the week, because it has been a wash, with horses falling or hitting fences left, right and centre. But how did the day start? They started the Supreme Novice Hurdle. The tip from yesterday was Kopek deboard, and he's every bit as good as what I thought he would be. Paul Townend gave him a great ride. Still keen, but Kopek deboard comes through. Pretty much the nap of the week for me, and it's a nice winning start to the Cheltenham Festival. That gave us lots of confidence going into race 2, the Arkle. Majborough, could he get the job done for Willie Mullins and Mark Walsh? Well, it jumped. Oh my word, it didn't jump. That's the problem. It jumped long, it jumped short, and then it absolutely clattered the final fence. Ran a remarkable race to finish third. Unbelievable race to finish third. So, yeah, well done to Majborough for finishing third. But the each-way tip in there, Django Bay, storms through beaten horses and snatches the win on the line. Third race of the day was the handicap. We tipped up 2 in that famous bridge and Mayertown, and it was Mayertown who came in at 12-1 for us. 30 runners in that race. It was Mayertown that gets the job done at 12-1. So a nice little win there for backers at big prices. And then it was the race of the day for me, Lossiemouth. What a wonder mare. And questions are going to be asked. Should she have run in the champion hurdle? Well, we know the answers now, but hypothetics are great after the event. Lossiemouth, she's just absolutely gorgeous. The apple of my eye. That's for sure. Beautiful horse, just running an absolute perfect race, giving a great ride. But listen, Paul Townend was much on the best horse in that race. And that brings us to the champion hurdle. Wow! The champion hurdle, Constitution Hill. Oh, what's happened to Constitution Hill? We showed some footage yesterday in the preview of what happened at the last hurdle. It did exactly the same, just took off and just clattered into it. Couldn't get to the landing side on this occasion. And gee whiz, brighter days ahead. The Wonder Mare from Ireland. Again, maybe she just doesn't like Cheltenham, but I tell you what, she didn't figure at all. And the winner was 25-1 Golden Ace for Jeremy Scott and Lorcan Williams. Well done, Lorcan Williams in the saddle, who ran in this race because the owners thought we may as well get more place money from running in the champion hurdle than getting place money, prize money from running in the mares. If we're going to finish second, third, or fourth in the mares, we might as well finish second, third, fourth, or third, fourth, fifth in the champion hurdle. They've only gone and won it. Absolutely fantastic. So Golden Ace wins the champion hurdle. I never thought I'd be saying that today, but yeah, it's been an up and down day, that's for sure. Let's see if Transmission can get us a nice win in the National Hunt Cup. That'll be off in about 30 minutes' time at the time of recording right now. But let's look forward to day 2. It's Champion Chase Day. It's John Bond Day. Always look forward to Wednesday. Still staying on the old course. Champion Chase is the feature at 4 o'clock, but we've got some high quality animals, as you would expect, running before that. And we get underway in the Grade 1 novice. The Turners ran over 2 miles and 5 furlongs. They'll be jumping 10 hurdles. There's 11 that go to post for this one. And heading the betting is another Willie Mullins hot pot, but not as hot as some of the other horses that'll be running this week. It's Final Demanding at 15-8. The New Lion for the Skeltons and JP McManus at 15-8. The Yellow Clay comes over from Ireland for Gordon Elliott and Bective Stud. They're in at 13-2. Potter's Charm, another British horse in this race for Nigel Twiston Davis and his son Sam on board at 14-1. 6 Mile Bridge for Fergal O'Brien, Keelan Woods in at 16s. Kiss Will, Pat Mullins takes the ride for his dad Willie at 25-1. And it's Bigger the Rest. So let's have a look at some of the runners and riders in a little bit more detail. Willie Mullins has won this race for the last 3 years. Sir Gerhard, Impere Pass, and the phenomenal horse over hurdles. Perhaps not some phenomenal over fences, Ballyburn. Interesting stat here. Only 6 of the last 12 winners were favourites. So we're at a 50% strike rate for favourites in the last 12 years in this race. But 10 out of the 12 last winners featured in the top 3 in the betting. Final Demand then, Willie Mullins, Paul Townend, 3 lifetime races, 1 in a point over 3 miles, 1 in a maiden hurdle, and 1 in a graded novice. The Grade 1 novice last time out at the DRF, the Dublin Racing Festival in Leopardstown. And let me tell you, this horse has got superstar potential. But is that superstar potential over hurdles, or does it await over a fence? I think this horse will win the Gold Cup in 2 years' time. It's got the stamp of a chaser written all over him. But Final Demand at 230,000 euros purchase as a 3-year-old. I think this horse does have something a little bit special. Stays nicely, jumps nicely. Possible slight concerns about the spring ground. We're going to be moving more towards the good side tomorrow. But Final Demand is a horse I really like. What about others in the race then? It's the New Lion for the British Charge. Arguably the greatest British horse running on the second day of the festival, apart from Jump On, of course, but runs in the same colours. Runs in the same colours. Interesting here, JP McManus acquired this horse from an owner called Darren Yates for an undisclosed fee. Now, the rumour mill in the media world would suggest that this horse has gone for £1 million plus. So, JP McManus knows the time of day when it comes to purchasing these horses. Harry Skelton takes the ride for the Dan Skelton stable based down in Warwickshire there. This horse is unbeaten in its last 4 starts. So, National Hunt Flat Race, Maiden Hurdle, ran in a Class 3 novice, and then in a Grade 1 novice last time, beat a horse called Wendigo, and that horse will be running in the Albert Bartlett later on this week. Not sure if Wendigo's got a chance in that Albert Bartlett. We'll come to that form later on in the week. But again, just concerned about the general form of the New Lion. One thing to say is it's won all his races not coming off the bridle. So jockey stood still, nudges along on the reins, horse extends nicely. Will the horse stay 2 miles, 5 furlongs? So 11 out of the 12 runners in this field had one previous run at the distance. Now the New Lion hasn't had that. So again, I just asked the question, will the New Lion stay? And at Cheltenham Festival, I'm not prepared to take my chance on that. There's every possibility that when Harry Skelton asks the question, nudges the horse along, the horse will take off and stay up the hill. But we don't know. And I like horses who have run at the distance, particularly at Cheltenham, particularly if this race is run at a fair gallop. Other contenders in here, we've got the Yellow Clay. Finished 6th in the Champion Bumper last season. Runs for Gordon Elliott. Jack Kennedy will take the ride. But there's question marks on the form of this horse. But definitely does stay this distance. Got graded form at the distance in novices. Ran in a Grade 1 at Nason and won nicely. I've just got concerns about the strength of the form, but it will be staying on up the hill. Potter's Charm for Sam Twiston-Davies, Nigel Twiston-Davies. Really poor last time out, but doesn't want deep ground. Gets nice ground today. So Twiston-Davies is bullish, thinks this horse is better than its last run when it was beaten into second place. Phenomenal winning record before that, including course and distance form. So Potter's Charm. And then 6 Mile Bridge, Fergal O'Brien, Keelan Woods. This horse might try and make all, go off from the start. Be interesting to see, again, how it stands up against some other quality animals in the race. But my selection for this is Final Demand for the Willie Mullins Yard. 15 to 8, may get a little bit of 2 to 1 tomorrow. So Final Demand is the selection in the Turners tomorrow to get us off to a good start. Right, let's move swiftly on then to the Brown Advisory Novice Chase. Run over 3 miles and half a furlong. It's a Grade 1, and these are novice horses in the jumping world over fences. Factor File won this last year. 7-year-olds have got a great record in this race. Favourites have only got a 50% record again here in the last 12 years. So something to bear in mind when we're looking around for a little bit of value maybe. There's no British runners in this race. Now, a horse called Jukebox Jury would have ran in this race in the colours of Harry Redknapp, but unfortunately, Ben Pauling, the trainer, reported that he picked up an injury a few weeks back. So we're starved of the quality of Jukebox Man. But let's find out who will be running, and let's kick it off with Ballyburn. Now, Ballyburn, high quality animal over hurdles, high class hurdler. Jumping's been a little bit sketchy at fences, but did win a Grade 1 last time out at Leopardstown, over 2 miles, 5 furlongs. Just think that race gave Ballyburn a little bit more time. We saw him running against Sergino at Kempton earlier on this season, and Sergino took off, and according to the Race IQ Jump Index, was just gaining ground on Ballyburn every single time at fences, and Ballyburn couldn't really keep up over a fence. So definitely wants a distance, got a stout pedigree, and is the quality animal in this field without doubt. Ballyburn, there's a little bit of 11 to 10, as you can see on your screen, a little bit of 11 to 10 around for Ballyburn. I think that's a great price for this horse, with very few dangers. We've got Dancing City, the second string, runs in the colours of the Donnellys for Winnie Mullins. Danny Mullins takes the ride. The Donnellys on Stateman today in the Champion Hurdle, got the race at their mercy and down at the last hurdle. So the owners will be looking for a little bit of reprieve tomorrow, I'm sure. That horse, for me, wants heavy ground. Dancing City is a heavy ground and stays all day long, probably wants more than 3 miles. I can see Dancing City in years to come being a Grand National type or an Irish national horse. So Dancing City, better days ahead, runs for Jack Kennedy and Gordon Elliott, but again, past form in the books, not great. So 11 to 10, 9 to 2, 13 to 2, about the top three in the market. And then we're out to 11 to 1, Gorgeous Tom, Stellar Story, 12 to 1. Lecky Watson in at 16 to 1 and 20 to 1 or bigger, the rest. Ballyburn's a selection. Quality animal, supreme novice winner. I think Ballyburn is definitely the one to beat here in our second race. So let's move swiftly on to race number 3. It's a handicap. It's a Coral Cup. Handicaps have served us well today at Cheltenham. Let's see if they do so again tomorrow on day 2. Coral Cups off at 240, 26 runners, run over 2 miles and 5 furlongs. A Grade 3 handicap. And listen to this. Ding dong. I'm putting up an 80 to 1 shot here. 80 to 1. Put £1 on. Get 81 back, £80 profit. The outsider of the field, the mule. It's Ike Sport or Ike Sports. Rated 131. Runs off 10 stone 6 for Neil Mulholland and Connor O'Farrell. Got form at 2 miles 4 furlongs. Not been great over obstacles the last few times, but steps back in distance from running 3 miles plus. This is definitely Ike Sports distance. And I just think, you can see the odds on there, they're definitely the outsider. I think Ike Sport is the one who could at least run into a place. So feel free to back it each way, but might just sneak the win, you know. What else have we got in the race? 12 to 1. Gypcott won this race last year for Keelan Woods and John Joe O'Neill. Runs in the same ownership colours of 6 Mile Bridge in our previous race. And then Bunting. Now, if you're a darts fan, you will be very familiar with the slogan, "Let's go Bunting mental." Well, I think punters have gone Bunting mental because this horse has been backed off the boards. There's a little bit of 11 to 2 around, maybe 6 to 1. It's the handicap debut for Willie Mullins, Paul Townend on board. The owner's Tony Bloom, who's also the owner of Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club. Second run in the last 8 months, appears to have been laid out for this race. So don't be surprised if Bunting wins this race. So 2 selections here. Ike Sport at 80 to 1 and Bunting 11 to 2, 6 to 1. Next up, we've got the Cross Country Trace, one of my favourite races of the week. An absolute spectacle, particularly if you're new to horse racing, watching horses going over different types of fences, different types of hurdles, obstacles, up banks, over the cheese wedges. This is a great spectacle, that's for sure. 16 runners go to post. Now, interesting thing about this race is, used to be a graded race, is now a handicap. So the horses in this race will be carrying different weights to what's happened in previous years, where every single horse would carry the same amount of weight because it would be a graded race. Run over 3 miles, 5.5 furlongs. So we need a horse that goes well. Let's have a look at some of the runners and riders. We've got Stumptown in here at 11-4. That will go off favourite, that's for sure. Galvin for Gordon Elliott at 4-1. Bustleton for Joseph O'Brien. Joseph O'Brien just had a winner in one of the handicaps here today on day one. That goes off at 8-1. Mr. Coffee at 8-1. Vanilla at 8-1. We've got a reserve for David Cotton from France, Felix de Giles, French champion jockey Felix de Giles. That takes, he takes the ride on ICO Madrick at 12s. Late Night Pass, fresh from the pointing field, in at 14-1. Gina Andrews, Miss Gina Andrews on board there. And Cocoa Beach for Sam Ewing and Gordon Elliott at 20-1. 20-1 bar then here in the cross-country chase. Let's look at Stumptown. Got course and distance form. Won nicely in this race, the equivalent Christmas at Cheltenham, the cross-country chase. Keith Donoghue, who's an absolute master in these types of races. Keith Donoghue, fantastic jockey to have in these, very experienced in these types of races. You're going to get, I think this horse is going to shorten from 11-4, could be 5-2, 9-4, if not 2-1 tomorrow. So get on early. Does lump a lot of weight around those. Got a penalty, the 8-year-old, for its win last time, but won readily, as easy as you'd like. So carries 11 stone, 10 pounds. Stumptown, because of the weight, just puts me off. If every other horse was carrying the same amount of weight and this was a graded race, I would be choosing Stumptown all day long. So there's nothing to put you off apart from just lumping a lot of weight around the course. Galvin second in. He runs for Gordon Elliott. Back from the US. Very few hurdles and jumps races in the US, but ran in a grade 1 hurdle over there. Finished second. And in this non-handicap version of the cross-country chase in 2023, also finished second in that race as well. Does like the ground, got its ground, doesn't like soft or heavy like he had in 2023, likes the ground, so I think Galvin could run up a nice race. But the selection is Bustleton for Joseph O'Brien, in at 8-1, runs off 10 stone, 5 pounds. So getting over a stone in weight from the favourite Stumptown. I just think this 8-year-old is a bit of a danger to all. We need to know that he stays, but I think Bustleton has been laid out for this race. So it'll be Bustleton, the selection for me in the cross-country chase. Right, let's get on to the main events. And it is showtime, because we've got one of the greatest chasers in the land, John Bon, heading to post for the champion chase. A race that's been won by some quality horses in the past. Sprinter Sacra, Altior, Energumen, who reopposes today, by the way. Can John Bon make that list of greats by winning the 4 o'clock champion chase over a slightly extended 2 miles? Don't forget, John Bon missed this race last year, but recently beat Energumen in the revised Clarence House that was switched to Ascot. Sorry. Let's have a look at that form now, as John Bon wins last time out.
John Bon landed running, and Energumen was a little awkward there, and John Bon now seals the initiative. He goes away by 3 to 4 lengths, racing down towards the final fence. It's John Bon is pulled clear now by 5 lengths. Here's the final obstacle now. John Bon, a mighty jump there. He landed running 5 in front from Energumen. Edward Stone in third, and on the run towards the line, it's John Bon. He's too good for Energumen. here, and John Bond's going to win his 9th Grade 1 race. He wins the NGM Clarence House Chase. John Bond the winner. Energumen.
John Bond, the winner, Energumen in second. Is that form crucial for the champion chase? I say yes, it is. This horse readily puts Energumen in his place in that particular race. Impressive in the Tingle Creek previous to that. Always did enough in the slower chase at Cheltenham. Now, the only thing I'd say about John Bond is 12 out of 14 over fences, 12 wins and 2 losses out of 14 races over fences. But both of those losses have been at Cheltenham. So John Bond, very much the horse to beat, but at 10 to 11, is that value given the horse's Cheltenham record? I think it is. I think it's a great price. I think John Bond's going to shorten all day tomorrow. But what about the opposition? We've got Marine Nationale in here for Barry Connell, Sean Flanagan at 5 to 1, Energumen at 15 to 2, Solness at 15 to 2, Founder 50 at 16, and last year's fortunate winner, Captain Guinness, in at 25 to 1. It's 25 to 1 then, or bigger, the rest. So, John Bond, who's won over £1 million in prize money, did cost a very cool €570,000 though at the Goff sales. John Bond's a selection, but I just want to touch on Solness for Joseph O'Brien here. Solness won his last 2 races, including the Grade 1 chase at Leopardstown last time out. And this horse just darts off from the start. And when I say he's got a high cruising speed, I mean this horse is jumping at around 36 miles per hour. Great jumper, great stayer. And if John Bond gives this horse an easy time on the lead, it'll be interesting to see if Solness has just got that staying power up the hill at Cheltenham. So Solness for me is very much the danger if he gets a soft time of it in the lead, and I think he will. I think Solness will lead them a merry dance, but can that dance last for the entire night? We'll find out tomorrow. That is for sure. Marine Nationale will mention as well. I expect that horse to be in the 3. Former Supreme winner, finished behind Solness last time, but I think gave Solness a little bit too much rope on the lead. And Marine Nationale could finish closer to Solness, but won't beat John Bond. John Bond, very much the selection here in the champion chase. That leaves 2 races left. Let's have a quick look at the last 2 races on day 2 by kicking off with the Johnny Henderson 2-mile chase, the Grade 3 handicap. Unexpected party runs here for Harry Skelton and Dan Skelton. That'll go off at about 13 to 2. Carries 11 stone, 2 pounds, though £6 higher than when winning this last year, but it's definitely been targeted in this race. And let me tell you, when Dan Skelton plots a handicap blot, he gets it right. Never normally is the cash down with Dan Skelton and he leaves empty-handed. So it wouldn't surprise me if Unexpected Party just wins this comfortably and ultimately remains well handicapped. But I'm going to have one to beat him. It's an Irish horse, small stable, trainer called Cian Collins. Won the Fred Winter previously at Cheltenham, in at about 8 to 1, goes off at 10 stone, 7 pounds. And this horse is returning from a break. Ran last time out nicely. That was a prep run, but it's been targeted at this race. So for me, Jazzy Matty, Danny Gilligan takes the ride. Jazzy Matty is the selection in the Johnny Henderson, but I'm really wary of Unexpected Party. So Jazzy Matty and Unexpected Party with Jazzy Matty just getting the bacon there in the Johnny Henderson. And then it's the lucky last, the last race of the day, the 5:20, the champion bumper, the flat race, Grade 1 flat race, run over 2.5 miles a furlong. Now, real inexperienced horses here, difficult to get a handle, not really a betting contest, but if you wanted to chuck a few quid, then my selection will be Calypso Chance for Jack Kennedy and Gordon Elliott, just for the fact that this horse has already got winning experience. Won a point, got bought for about 75 grand, so not particularly expensive, but has got a great blend of that speed and stamina required, that stamina up the hill, but also got a turn of foot coming round the bend to meet the Cheltenham Hill, and will stay on. Been impressive, recorded some nice RPRs, some Racing Post rating figures, got a nice speed figure as well. So Calypso Chance for me in the champion bumper. But listen, Willie Mullins is the master when it comes to bumper races. So whatever Paul Townend and Pat Mullins choose, I couldn't put you off either of those as well. Don't be surprised if Jodie Townsend also rides the winner in the race. She normally picks up one or two nice bumper winners for Willie Mullins. But that is it for day 2. So let's hope day 2 goes well if you're having a bet or tuning in for just a little bit of fun. We will be back with more tips, insights and views for day 3 at a similar time tomorrow evening at about 5:30 p.m. The nap of the day today is John Bon. The next best is Ballyburn. And if I wanted to throw in a treble, a horse for the treble, we're going to have Final Demand. Those are the 3 main horses that I'll be backing. Of course, I'll be backing them all, but those 3 will get a little bit more of the Mr. Hobbis hard-earned wages, that's for sure. But that's it for day 2. Thanks for watching. And once again, like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate any feedback through the comment section. If you can share away, that will be great as well. Thanks for joining me, Nick Hobbis. And remember, always gamble responsibly. Good night.